I think I'm live. Okay, so it's Sunday, it's 5:30, at least here in the UK where I am right now, and we've just gone over to what's known as summertime. So that might obviously cause some confusion in the world because I know not everyone is exactly on the same day. But anyway, it's a Sunday evening, and I don't normally have at this time, but I wanted to really get started with my spring reset challenge. It was originally planned to start. Well, basically Tuesday, and for me to have this talk tomorrow. But I thought because today is kind of, I know the official first day of spring is this spring solstice, but nevertheless, I thought at least now we're on summertime, it's kind of official, it's kind of this transitional time. And if you are anything like me, you might have started feeling this energy building as well. And obviously, I know that it's different. Where we are in the world, it really depends on how much into spring we are. And maybe you're on the other side, maybe you're in the southern hemisphere and it's not actually spring. But nevertheless, I really wanted to kick off this spring reset challenge um, as soon as possible. So I've moved it forwards. And if you're watching, and I can see someone's watching, then thank you very much for watching live. Don't forget to let me know that you're there. Ask questions, send me emojis, and by all means, send me questions as well, because that's one of the reasons that I am doing this. So if you haven't already, make sure you get yourself a cup of something nice. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I want this to kind of be really enjoyable, and I'm very excited. So I'm going to try and pace myself, and that's also why I make myself a cup of tea so I can have a sip in every now and again. Mm. I should also say that if you are using the comments, they don't always come through to me, and sometimes there's a bit of a delay, but I'm going to try and make sure that I check. So every now and again, you're going to see me doing things on the computer. So, what is this whole spring reset challenge about? So, I'll be absolutely honest, I don't actually like challenges very much, but I felt that this is kind of the time now to do something because maybe I'll be honest, a bit like me. I felt that this year it was very exciting, but then nothing really happened and everything was a bit slow. And 1, 2, 3, it's been a bit like everyone's ended back in the overwhelm. Despite this being like the time of year where a lot of us have more energy because we're coming into spring, the sunshine, nature around us, and all of that, bursting at the seams, with new life. But I I've personally felt, and I've also had quite a few people tell me this, that maybe they feel that right now it's a bit of a struggle. Maybe there's just too many things going on. Maybe there's a bit too much confusion, or what am I going to do next? And what if my life is already so full? How can I possibly do anything else? So the last thing I want to do is to add to anyone's overwhelm. So I've created a challenge that's hopefully quite manageable. And I'll explain a bit about what we're going to cover in it. But some of you might already have seen it's kind of all about head, heart, health, home, kind of the four big aspects in our life. And I wanted to give you some practical tools and some inspiration to kind of look at what you're doing and then implement maybe some simple tweaks, some simple changes that will allow you to move forwards in this year to kind of help it make it the best year ever. But as with any challenge, it basically, how much you take out of it will depend on how much you put into it. Um, Meaning that if you don't really dedicate yourself to it, then you're probably not going to experience so much of a transformation. You're probably not going to feel the change. You're probably not going to be able to make the steps that I'm suggesting. But nevertheless, I have structured it in such a way that hopefully it will be very manageable, even if you've only got 15, 20 minutes a day to set aside. You will still be able to take part in this challenge. And the challenge will start tomorrow. Oh, I just saw a comment. Adriana, hey, from Texas, excited for spring and rejuvenation. I know it's kind of calling to everyone at this time, isn't it? And also, I feel like it's been a very long winter. For some reason, it's like it's really dragged on, and it's kind of like now is the time. Now is the time for all the new. Okay, so back to the challenge, and by all means, I'm going to talk, and I'm going to go back and check in the comments as well. So if you've got any questions, feel free to put them in now. I might not reply straight away, but I will then look at the comments again towards the end. So the challenge. Okay, so basically the challenge is going to go over 9 days, and it's going to start tomorrow, Monday. I'm going to run it totally here on Facebook, but I'm going to set up a separate Facebook group, and I'm going to share the link with you both in the comments and obviously in the main group later as well. Because I know that this challenge is not for everyone. Not everyone is willing to take part in it. So that's where I've kind of started. I've set up a separate group. So for those 9 days, you'll be in that group, hopefully. And that's where I'm going to be posting the resources. There's going to be daily activities and suggested activities. I'm going to give you some practical tools. Those will involve everything from ideas and suggestions to actually actual tools, so like meditations and visualizations. And there will be kind of, I don't like the word assignment, but there'll be something to do every day. There'll be like a focus every day. And the idea is that we're going to work through the 4 H's, the head, the heart, our health and home. We're going to, obviously, you can't necessarily split it all up, but we're going to cover all those 4 aspects and look at what we can do to set ourselves up to move forwards in a way that will see us, I can't say reach your goals, but at least that it will allow you to move forwards, hopefully with more clarity on what you want to put your energy into. We're also going to be looking at things like boundaries, because I find that time and again, the key things for people is often mindset and boundaries. So we are going to be looking at boundaries as well to allow you to nail down and focus on the things that you know will bring you the most joy, the most happiness going forwards. It can also relate to something very practical that you want to do. So then we are going to be looking at practical ways for you to implement that as well. So every day there's going to be a different focus, if you like. So this is a bit more intensive than what I do in this my main group, which is happiness, health, and hygge. And if you've been in here for a while, then you might already know that I go in once a week and with the main talk, and there is often things during the week to back it up. But other than that, it's meant to kind of inspire you. So think of this challenge as more of an intensive. Now, I do, in lack of a better word, coaching. And yeah, I don't know why. I don't necessarily like the word coach, but I'm like what I call a transformational teacher, and that's what I do. But I want to give you guys something as well, because I feel that's very important that we look after ourselves. And this is kind of, it's not exactly the first day of spring, but we're at the beginning of spring, and this is the time now where everything unfolds, like the leaves on the trees, the flowers in the garden, everything's coming out, bursting out in life with renewed energy. And I want everyone to feel that this energy is relatable into your own life. And we need to find ways to kind of direct that energy, use that energy for the things that we want to do, and that we know not in a selfish kind of way, but we as in that's something that will nurture us and our soul, because at the end of the day, we cannot give from an empty cup. It's really difficult to be there for other people if we are not looking after ourselves first. So a lot of people think that, oh, I can't possibly set aside, 20 minutes maybe a day for myself. I used to be that person. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I used to be the person who thought, I can't possibly do that. I feel guilty doing this. And I had to learn quite the hard way that it's so essential that we take that time out and we dedicate ourselves to that. Hence mindset, hence boundaries being two very important aspects and things that we're going to be looking at in this challenge. So let me just quickly look at my notes and I will tell you a tiny bit about what we are going to be looking at quite specifically within the challenge. Now, I don't want to give too much away, but like I said, it's a 9 days of practical steps. So if you allow yourself to set aside 15 to 20 minutes, then you will be able to complete the tasks. Obviously, if you put more time in, then you're likely to get a lot more out of it as well. And the more transformative the results. But anyway, I've set up a separate Facebook group because I want people to be able to use the group actively for accountability and inspiration and for asking questions, and also for kind of clarification and receiving the support. And the community aspect of this challenge is quite a big one for me as well, because once we've got the support and we feel that we're in a supported environment, and I hope you do that anyway in my group, but like I say, this other group is specifically for the challenge. And once we feel we're in that, it's a way almost of expanding our own energy and efforts together. So, and I'm sure you felt like that. It's a bit like finding your tribe for something. And if you already have an activity that you do, then you might, know that feeling that So if you go to a dance class, because I'm also a dance teacher, the minute you come in, like everyone's kind of lifting each other up, the energy grows together in the room, and we can emulate this online as well. Hence me setting up this separate Facebook group. And it means that it can allow ourselves to kind of, just share our successes and everything as well. Though I'm not expecting you to put lots of things on the post. Anyway, and every day there'll be a task or an exercise, as I said. And then on Tuesday, Tuesday, the 5th of April, that will be of the 9th day, I will be hosting an end of challenge celebration. And I'll do that on Zoom, and everyone will be getting the Zoom link, and it will be a lot more interactive than what I am able to do here on Facebook. There might be another Zoom session as well during the challenge, but I'll need to see on timings, and the full schedule, by the way, for the challenge is going to be revealed within the Facebook group. So my end of the celebration, at the end of the challenge celebration, will be at 8 p.m. GMT. And if that works in with the time difference and everything else, then that should be 4 p.m. Eastern, I think 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Pacific. And hopefully you'll be able to join me. There might be, like I said, another live in there as well via Zoom, real time. But that's still to be said, and that probably won't be so late in the day, at least for my on my half. So that's a tiny bit about what this challenge is about. So basically, if you are looking for ways to just kind of, maybe you just need some fresh energy, maybe you just want some new inspiration, maybe you are trying to find ways to deal with, like I said, overwhelm or setting boundaries, or maybe you're still trying to work out where should my focus be. As I said, there's like, I had this feeling at New Year, I had everything sorted out, and then everything just seems to have disintegrated. So sometimes we need to go back to the drawing board, and now is just a really, really key time, a really good time to do that. Like I said, with the beginning of spring. Okay, so I'm going to dive down into the comments and see if any comments are in. And still a message from Ariana. Hello. So I will take it that everyone is fine and hasn't got any questions. But if you do have any questions, then please don't hesitate to kind of put it into the chat. I am going to share now, and I hope I've got that saved in there. Let me see. So this is the challenge Facebook group, and I'm just going to share that in there. Hopefully that will come up as a link, and otherwise I will also share it with you. Oh, that looks better. I will share it in the main group later, and also yeah, maybe I'll share it again within this this event. So head over to the challenge if you like. I will be over there later. And I will do a little bit of a special welcome to everyone. If you are watching this on replay, then please don't hesitate to join. And I will make that clear. You can join later on in the challenge. So if you want to join and it's gone to Tuesday, okay, and you go like, oh, I've missed a day, I'm not going to bother now. Maybe it's already Wednesday. You can still join the challenge. That's absolutely fine. So the way it works, everything's going to be laid out. So it's very easy to find the guides in the challenge group, and all the resources and, in lack of a better word, assignments. I need to find a better word for that. Your little task for each day will be laid out, and there's nothing to say that you can't do several things in one day, because they're quite manageable little tasks. But it's also important, obviously, to let everything sink in. So if you, let's say it's come to Friday and you decide you want to do the challenge, still come and join the challenge. I will actually leave the group going. So the challenge Facebook group, I will leave that one going for I haven't decided whether it's going to be a full 2 weeks, but at least 10 days afterwards, so that everyone has got time to kind of work through it and, yeah, get through all the resources that I'm sharing with you, because I'm going to be putting lots of extra little things in there for people to take away. I've already mentioned meditations and visualizations, but also some practical things and some handouts that you can download and take away. So if you are interested and you're not sure whether to go for it or not, then I would say jump into the challenge group and just give it a go. So if you want to have some renewed focus, maybe you want to find out how you can best manage your energy, where to focus it, maybe to narrow down again on where your focus should be for the coming months, then that is some of the key things that we're going to be looking at. And we're going to work our way through. And basically, the order that we're going to go through is we're going to look at head and heart, so the head and heart connection, which I think is very much overlooked, because in our society now, we are so much in our heads. But I very much believe in a heart-led living, and you can substitute that with other words. You know, maybe you like the word soul. It's for me, it's kind of following that inner voice, your intuition, if you like, your gut, that thing, basically the things that you like to do when you're a little child, for example. Going back to that time, and also finding out those key aspects that were really important to you, that are really important to the authentic you, and then try and develop a balanced relationship between the head and the heart. And a key aspect of that is also looking at health, because we can only, we need a healthy body and a healthy mind. And that means a healthy heart and a healthy head, if you like. But there's more to it than that as well. And then obviously the home. So if you are interested in the Hygge aspect, that's great, because I think that's a great place to start. But in the challenge, we're going to go deeper. We are going to be looking at your home as your recharging station, like literally like your recharging station, and how your home is a natural extension, not only a reflection, but an extension of you, and what practical tips you can take in your home, in order to kind of bring it into alignment, and also to help support you. And this is not anything that will require budget or help from the outside or anything like that. It's really meant to be tips and ideas that are very practical. And as I've said, 15 to 20 minutes a day, and you can set aside more if you want. So there's nothing I expect you to go out and get or redecorate or things like that. Because again, I think that's often a very, very misunderstood concept of it. There is so much more that we can do that doesn't require us to go out and make a purchase. But again, that's because the world that we live in today, obviously, it's very easy. And if it only requires a click to buy something, that's easy. It's so much harder for some people to set aside those 20 minutes to actually look within or action something within the home. But that is why I've set up this challenge, and that is why I've set up the separate Facebook group so that we can do it together, and hopefully we can inspire each other, and we can create some fabulous results. And if you want to put in more than 20 minutes a day, you definitely can do, and you're likely to get so much more from it. Oh, Lorella, I just saw your comment. I love the concept of our house as a recharging station. Yes, definitely. Well, it is. And I don't want to end up talking too much about detail at the moment, but that's why we've got hygge, right, in Scandinavia. It's one of the key aspects why we've got hygge is that fact that we are very much focused on the home. And I've said this before. It's like we cannot control what life. We can't control the outer circumstances of our life, basically. Full stop. Okay. What we can control is our own. Reaction is not the right word because it's not reaction I'm looking for, but we can control how we perceive things and also how we respond to things. Now, our home is the closest that we kind of get to the outer world, apart from our bodies, that we can control. So we need to be quite careful about our home environments, because our homes can drain us of energy, or they can be supportive of our energy. And at the end of the day, we want them to be supportive of us, and we want to be able to, this goes beyond, but basically I often talk about having that little hygge corner, maybe, like a little place, maybe someone called it something beautiful the other day, like my Zen space, I think. And yes, that is really beautiful. And I think we all need that place in a home where we can go, and it'll just remind us to be in the moment and be mindful. But we need to think harder than that, really, because our homes can be so much more of value to us, other than just kind of giving us a little moment of relief. Our homes can literally be a recharging station. And then once we go out into the world again, which, I don't know, we're here in the UK where I am, everything's like getting back to normal, whatever that is, after the whole COVID pandemic. And for some people, that is really, really worrying, because they've gotten quite used to being at home, and now they feel safe and supported at home, and then going out is a bit worrying. But we need to be able to go out into the world. And if we feel that we have kind of recharged at home, we should be okay to go out into the world as well. And then, what's that saying? Home is where the heart is. That's where they say here in the UK. And I think that is very much true, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't take your heart with you when you go out as well and enjoy the outer world. But then when you can come back, you can just kind of allow yourself to just kind of almost be supported and lifted. And this goes beyond, let's say, having a decent night's sleep, which is obviously recharging us. It also goes beyond having maybe a good nurturing meal, because again, that will recharge us on a very physical level. So it goes beyond that, because it's like seeing the home as a whole, as a way to recharge us. So we're going to be spending quite a lot of time initially looking at the head and heart connection, which is very, very key. And as I said, about boundaries and also intention setting, goal setting. And then we're going to be moving on to be looking at are the health aspects before we then start looking at the home. Home as a recharging station. There we go. So I hope you'll be able to join me for this, in lack of a better word, challenge. Yes, spring restart. I maybe I shouldn't have said the word challenge in there, but you know what I mean. It's kind of, we're going to go for it. We're going to go for it for 9 days, and it's going to be everything's going to be in this separate Facebook group that I've already shared the link to, and I'll reshare it. And if you can't make it, or maybe you have to miss a day because of work, family, life gets in the way, that's fine. Everything's still going to be in there. It's going to be in there in the guides. And at the end of it, on Tuesday, the 5th of April, I will have a Zoom live with everyone, and we can celebrate and talk about how the challenge went, and also how it can support you going forwards. So I will check the chat again. So if anyone's got any question, then please let me know. Obviously, you can also add the questions into this post afterwards, and I will do my best to answer them. And then if there is, let me just have a look. No, no questions. Okay. I will do my best to answer them. And if not, then I will hopefully see you tomorrow on Monday, or if you're watching this a replay, any day after that, really. You can still join the group, the separate Facebook group that I've set up. And I look forward to this, very much a transformational journey. And like I said, I'm hoping that it will kind of be like a supportive little community. So we're in it together, and I am humbled that I can hopefully share some inspiration and some practical tools that will help you to kind of go out there and do it. So I would say come in with an open heart and an open mind. You might just surprise yourself with what you can take away and how it can help you in your everyday life going forwards as well. So with that in mind, thank you very much for joining me. I love being alive on a Sunday afternoon / evening. But I will hopefully see you in the challenge. And if not, then I will probably see you still here in the group. I will still be in this group as well. And yes, tomorrow, however, I'm not sure I'll have time to do a live because I'm doing this live now. But anyway, I will hopefully see you soon. So have a lovely evening, no matter where you are or what you do. But I hope you take some time out to just kind of have a bit of a hygge moment and hopefully make the decision to see me for the Spring Reset Challenge. Take care. Bye-bye.